Scorpio, if you are hearing this, pause for a moment. Feel your own breath moving in and out of your body. Notice how something in you is already paying attention, already leaning in. That's not a coincidence. When certain messages arrive, they don't knock politely. They move straight into the part of you that has always known more than it could explain. This is one of those messages. Because somewhere in your life, there is a man whose presence has not been as simple as it seems. His words may sound smooth, his actions may look supportive, his story may appear convincing, but your spirit has started to whisper. Something here is not fully honest. And as we move toward December 14th, a quiet, powerful light begins to gather around you, not to create drama, but to reveal what has been hidden in the shadows for too long. This is not about fear. This is about clarity. This is about you remembering that your intuition has never lied to you, even when others did. You may already feel it in subtle ways. Perhaps your body tenses slightly when his name appears on your screen. Maybe you feel a strange emptiness after speaking with him, as if the energy in the room dropped, even though the conversation seemed normal. Or maybe there have been small inconsistencies, stories that don't quite match, glances that linger too long, questions that are brushed aside with a joke. On the surface, nothing is wrong enough to point at directly, but your inner world, the part of you that reads energy before words, has been picking up on something deeper. Scorpio, you are ruled by depth. You were born with an X-ray soul. You can feel what others are trying to conceal, especially when it comes to intention. And lately that gift has been stirring, nudging you, inviting you to look more closely. This man around you could appear in many forms. For some of you, he may be a romantic interest, the person who sends sweet messages but never quite lets you all the way in. For others, he may be an ex who keeps reappearing, always at moments when you're just beginning to move forward. For some, he may be a boss, a business partner, a relative, or even a friend, who always seems to be near when you are vulnerable, but strangely absent when you shine. The details differ, but the pattern is similar. There is something he is not saying, something he is not showing, something he is keeping partially hidden, whether it's his true emotions, his true situation, his true intentions, or his true level of commitment to you and your future. As we move toward the energy of December 14th, it is as if the cosmic spotlight begins to turn, not harshly onto him, but gently onto you. Life is less concerned with exposing him, and more interested in awakening you. You are being guided to see where you have minimized your own unease, where you have made excuses for red flags, where you have silenced your intuition in order to keep the peace or preserve the connection. You may notice this in small moments, the way your stomach tightens when he changes the subject, the way your chest feels heavy after a conversation, the way your mind replays certain moments while you're trying to sleep. The tone he used, the half-answer he gave, the question he avoided. Scorpio, this is your soul trying to help you connect the dots. It is not paranoia, it is pattern recognition. You are not being asked to confront him with anger or to dive into suspicion. You are being invited into discernment. Discernment is different from fear. Fear rushes. Fear assumes. Fear attacks or collapses. Discernment slows down. Discernment watches. Discernment quietly notices where words and energy do not match. Over these days, leading toward December 14th, you may feel guided to say less and observe more. To listen not just to what he says, but to what your body feels in the silence after. Does your nervous system relax around him? or does it brace? Do you feel honored or subtly managed? Do your boundaries feel respected or gradually tested? These small answers are the beginning of the truth coming to light. For many of you, this man is hiding something that is not necessarily dramatic, but deeply important: his real relationship with his own wounds. He may be hiding his insecurity behind confidence, his fear of abandonment behind control, his unresolved pain behind charm. He may present himself as the strong one, the stable one, the one who knows how things should be, while quietly projecting his unhealed fears onto you. You might find that you are constantly the one asked to understand, to adjust, to be patient, to carry the emotional load. The secret he's hiding may not be a person or an obvious betrayal, but a truth about his emotional capacity, what he is actually able to give and sustain. Around December 14th, the universe begins to pull back the curtain on this reality. Not so you can judge him, but so you can stop gaslighting yourself. For others, there may indeed be more concrete layers: a hidden difficulty, a financial issue he hasn't mentioned, a commitment elsewhere he has not been fully transparent about, or a loyalty divided in ways you can feel but can't yet see. You might notice sudden shifts. He becomes less available when you ask certain questions. He changes his plans when you step into your power. He praises you in public, but diminishes you in subtle, private ways. His actions may carry a split intention. He wants access to your energy, but not responsibility for your heart. The cosmic energy gathering around you now is asking a simple but powerful question. What if you stopped making his contradictions your fault? What if you let the truth of his behavior speak louder than the image he tries to project? December 14th arrives not as a thunderstorm, but as a moment of alignment. It is a turning point in perception more than in circumstance. You may not receive a shocking revelation, though some of you might. Instead, you may feel something inside you click, a quiet, "I knew it," rising from the depths. A sentence he says that finally reveals what you've felt all along. A choice he makes that clearly shows where you stand in his priorities. Or an opportunity that appears, inviting you to step away from the dynamic and back into your own power. The day itself is less important than what it symbolizes. A window in time when your intuition, your emotional history, and the current patterns in your life all align to make something undeniable. You see more clearly. You feel more honestly. You stop explaining away what has been in front of you the whole time. This doesn't mean you must cut him off or stay with him. The universe is not making the decision for you. It is handing you the information you need to make a conscious choice. Some of you will recognize that this man has been hiding vulnerability, not malice. You will see that his distance, his defensiveness, his inconsistencies are rooted in fear, past trauma, or feeling unworthy of the love you offer. In those cases, December 14th may bring a conversation that opens a new layer of honesty, if both hearts are ready. You might hear him share something he's never spoken aloud. You may see him soften, drop the mask, and allow you to meet the real person behind the performance. That too is truth coming to light, and from that place, healing can begin if you choose to walk that path together. For others, this moment of clarity will reveal a harder truth. He has been benefiting from your loyalty without matching your integrity. He has been enjoying your presence while withholding his own. He has been asking for understanding while giving you only half his truth. In those cases, December 14th may feel like a quiet inner break, a line drawn inside you, Not a dramatic explosion, but a steady decision. I will not abandon myself to keep this connection alive. You may still speak kindly. You may still care, but you will no longer give your spirit to someone who treats your heart as optional. The light that arrives does not come to shame you for what you tolerated. It comes to free the part of you that always knew you deserved better. Scorpio, you are not powerless in this story. The idea that someone is hiding something can easily feed anxiety if you forget who you are. You are not a victim of unseen forces. You are not at the mercy of someone else's secrecy. Your gift is that you can feel misalignment long before it becomes visible. When you honor that feeling instead of pushing it away, you step back into your role as the guardian of your own energy. Between now and December 14th, you are being encouraged to anchor yourself in practices that bring you back to your center. Journaling honestly without censoring yourself. Sitting in stillness with the question, what am I pretending not to know? Paying attention to your body's responses rather than just your mind's explanations. The more present you are with yourself, the easier it becomes to see others clearly. You may also notice how this situation echoes older stories. Perhaps there was once a father figure, a partner, or a mentor who also hid things, feelings, truth, vulnerabilities from you. Maybe you learned early on to read between the lines, to anticipate someone else's moods, to keep the peace by ignoring what you felt. The man in front of you now may be unconsciously recreating that pattern, not because you did something wrong, but because your soul is ready to heal something deeply rooted. December 14th, in this sense, becomes more than a date. It becomes a symbolic doorway where you can step out of the old script, the one where you wait to be chosen, wait to be told the truth, wait to be reassured you're not overreacting. Instead, you choose yourself. You tell yourself the truth. You reassure your own heart that what it feels is valid. There is also a softer side to this unfolding. As you begin to see this man more clearly, you may also see yourself more compassionately. You might realize how much love you've offered, how much patience you've extended, how deeply you've tried to understand. You may recognize that your willingness to see the best in him was not foolishness, but evidence of your own beautiful heart. The goal is not to harden into suspicion or to declare all men untrustworthy. The goal is to refine your discernment, so you no longer hand the keys of your inner world to those who have not earned that privilege. You learn to separate empathy from self-sacrifice. You learn that you can love someone and still step back. You can care and still choose distance. You can understand his wounds without making excuses for the ways they hurt you. As this energy peaks, you may feel a mixture of emotions: anger at what was hidden, sadness for what could have been, relief that you finally see it, gratitude that you are no longer in the dark. Allow all of these feelings to move through you without judgment. There is no right way to process clarity. Some truths arrive gently, others sting, but each one in its own way is a form of liberation. Let your tears, if they come, be a cleansing, not a condemnation. Let your silence, if you need it, be a sanctuary, not a punishment. Let your choices moving forward be rooted in the quiet understanding that you are worthy of relationships where nothing essential has to be hidden, where the man standing in front of you is the same as the one he claims to be. And as we come to the close of this message, Scorpio, come back again to your breath. Feel your chest rise and fall. Feel the weight of your own presence. You are not fragile, even if your heart has been shaken. You are not foolish, even if you missed signs before. You are a soul in the process of learning how to trust your own knowing more than anyone else's performance. December 14th does not arrive to punish you or to create fear. It arrives as a mirror, a moment where what has been simmering beneath the surface becomes clear enough for you to name, to honor, and to act upon. Whether the truth that rises calls you deeper into connection or gently toward release, trust that it is guiding you closer to the life and love that truly match your spirit. And gently, let this be said as well, this narrative is a mirror, a reflection of one possible pattern, a story offered to your intuition rather than a fixed promise about your future. It is a thought experiment for the soul, a spiritual lens through which you can explore what already lives inside you. If these words resonate, if they awaken something you have sensed but could not yet describe, then take what you need and let it strengthen your discernment. If they do not, let them drift past like clouds across your inner sky, because not every story is meant for every Scorpio. The real power is not in any prediction, but in the way you choose to listen to yourself, to honor your feelings, and to move forward with wisdom. You are and have always been the one holding the pen to your own story, and the light that is coming is here to help you write the next chapter with clearer eyes and a more protected heart.